Ottosson. Do you hear me?
I hear you. It's just a little glitch, I think.
Yeah. I forgot to ask you, but you live in Sweden, don't you?
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Just outside Gothenburg and Stenungsund.
Yeah. In case people has never heard of this channel, well, I want to say the reason for why I'm doing these interviews, and it is, of course, Elaine Thorpe. Do you know her?
I think so. I recognize the name.
Yes, and it's her. She's a very good trance medium who brings through a person named Jonathan Hunt, and she is a true trance medium, I would say. Yeah, so he said to me that I should interview mediums and spread it across the world. So one day I thought, well, maybe I'll ask Mia Ottosson from Sweden if she would like to be interviewed. And you said, yes, thank you.
Yeah,
so,
thank you very much.
Yeah, we speak Swedish both, but we ask, maybe there's some English people out in the world would like to hear about you. So we'll try in the English language.
That's great.
Yeah. Well, welcome, Mia. And I know some things about you, and some things, of course, I don't know. But how did your journey begin in this spirit world, or how you can say?
It actually started with my ex-father-in-law, and I always had a death wish from when I was a child. And when you talk about it, or if they found out when I was younger, they think you just screwed up, there's something psychologically damaged here. But today I know it was my soul, searching, looking for my home, so to speak. But when you're young, you don't realizing it. So my ex-father-in-law, he was involved in Karlstad Spiritualist Society, and he brought me down there. So that was my first input to this. And when I stepped into the doors there, it was with fear, of course, also with joy. And I felt like, I'm not the only crazy person here. So I felt like it became a home from a home, so to speak. And I also became the president there for over 15 years. So it's been a lot of development, experimental things, and a long journey through that society.
Well, I think you're quite skilled. So, but in the way that I know you paint spirits and so on. But before we come there, I would like to know, how did you go forward and what happened after?
It actually, the first ever thing I did was joining a meditation group. And at the same time, I was involved in a lot of different things. I was very curious. So whenever anybody asked me to join this or come to this, I was all for it, And I was quite naive. And, in the beginning, you believe that everyone that has been involved in spiritualism or spirituality longer than yourself, you always believe they gonna be right, I'm just the wrong one. So I started with a meditation, and another lady from Martinez Cosmology told me that it's not safe there, it's very scary, someone who is not good there. And suddenly I started to get really bad images when I was sitting in the meditation. And at that time I believed her. Today I realize it was just my fear creating this, But I was really naive, and I never questioned anything. I just was so open to anything. And in one way I can miss that part, because in that naivety I also had a buzz, you are so thrilled for everything you can feel and experience. Today I suppose I'm more critical than is good for me, so I can take away the joy a lot of times, because I have to questioning it instead, because of my journey and how I've been fooled during my development. But and I started to join the society, and then this Englishman, my ex-husband, came there. And when we got together, I was probably doing healing, mediumship and trance courses for 10 years every weekend, about 40, 45 weekends a year, practicing. So in all that bad that happened with him, at least I got a good education, sitting for spirit for a long time.
Yeah.
And he took me to Arthur Findlay College, where I continue my development later on.
I would like to show, because I have read your book and I have listened to it on what do you call it?
Storytell.
Storytell, but I don't know if we can see it here. Can we see it?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Yes, I've read that book, and it's you put yourself like you're an open book for everyone, and that it's very brave to do that.
I think that was my choice when I wrote it, that if I'm going to write the book, I have to be open, because how can I warn people if I'm protecting myself, So, and I think that was also my healing process, to be honest and fair. And I think that was the hardest bit in the whole thing, that realizing how stupid I was, because as a human being with the animal instinct, you don't want to say to yourself, I've been fooled, It's hurtful. And to go through that and looked at how stupid I was, how naive I was, and that I also was a victim in everything. In the beginning, I always thought it's only the girls he abused that was a victim. But I was also a victim in it. And to embrace that helped me with my healing process. So the book is a lot about healing for myself.
Well, you have learned a lot of that journey, you can say.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and you mentioned that even in the book, that it's taught you a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I think he was a quite what was he? I have never heard of him more in newspapers, but was he well known?
In certain places, he was traveling quite a lot, Switzerland, Germany, working. And the people who brought him to Karlstad's society, where I met him at Arthur Findlay College. Obviously, he was a student there, and they probably thought he was a good one, so they invited him to Sweden.
Yeah. So, because when you come from a place like Arthur Findlay College, everyone thinks, well, this is a good teacher.
Yeah, and that doesn't have to be true, actually.
Yeah, yes, of course. But you have somewhere, maybe you have to, after reading this, it's very important to feel, really, what do I feel with that person?
Yeah, I always say to everybody, never trust a medium. Because everyone are on different conscious levels. So I will believe where I am that this is the right way with my understanding, and you or my colleagues will have a different knowledge and think that this is the right for where I am. So I think it is extremely important to listen to yourself and what's right for just me. We have no right to judge another one.
No.
And like I say, yes, we have good teachers at Arthur Findlay College, but like my ex, he wasn't a good person. So,
well, maybe that was a purpose to learn in life. Maybe.
So,
yeah, we don't know quite, but maybe. No. But anyhow, I would recommend the book to read, because it's good, and you learn and how to trust and not to trust.
Yeah.
But and one thing I must say I reacted is that people still believed him, even that he was. Yeah. So
because people don't really know what trance is, No. And people say that if it feels right, it must be right. But if that's true, I believe he was a good trance medium, and maybe he was in certain places in the beginning, but towards the end, he was just cheating. So, and if people don't know, we like so much when we're starting our journey to believe in someone. We like to share that spirituality. So it's very easy to be manipulated with someone who has narcissistic personalities.
Yes, so it's important not to feed that kind of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but enough of that. You are you work in Arthur Findlay College.
Yeah.
Yes, you have courses there. So it was him who brought you, but then you're still working there?
Yeah, he brought me there because the Spiritual National, this, as the International Spiritualist Federation had a yearly congress there. So that was the first time, 1998, I went to Arthur Findlay College. And he actually said that I should go some courses there because he wanted me to bring home some knowledge and new techniques, new practice exercises for him. And what he didn't realize, I think, was that when I was taking the courses at Arthur Findlay College, I started to learn more about mediumship, trance, and everything. So that taught me to questioning him even more. So when we parted, so to speak, I started to go about 5-6 weeks a year over there to retrain myself, because everything it taught me became ugly for me. And I remember one night, if you've been to Arthur Findlay College, we gather in the bar in the evening, when everything is finished, 9 o'clock in the evening. And one night I was sitting there with my teacher at the time I had that week, Paul Jacobs. And he looked at me and he shook his head and he said to me, "Come on, Mia. I know you want to retrain your mediumship, but please keep the things that at least you are good at and throw away the bad stuff only." So it was a wake-up call, because not everything comes for him. I have my own personality as well.
Yeah. I've looked at some pictures that you have drawn, and they're very, very good, I must say.
Thank you.
Yeah, very good. And how does it work? You see or of course you must have the talent to draw.
No, not really, actually, because if you see my first picture, when I have a spirit art class or something, or do a talk about it, I show my first pictures and everybody is laughing because they're so bad. They are children's pictures, actually. So over the years, it's actually my artist who taught me a technique which no one else is actually drawing like I am. So if I would have to draw like the normal way with the egg and there's is the eyes and there's going to be I wouldn't be able to do a portrait. But now I'm just sculpturing it forward. And my artist is actually telling me that the picture is already on the paper. You just have to bring it forward. So it's actually like you're learning to draw when you're in the kindergarten and you try to keep the colors inside the lines, It's about the same way.
But is it spirit helping you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So is it a kind of trance or no?
No, absolutely not. Because of course it is a different conscious level, like always when we're doing something with mediumship or healing or whatever. But for me, I'm very aware when I'm drawing. And if you were standing beside me while I'm doing a portrait, I can talk to you while I'm drawing, because the more I don't interfere with my picture, the easier my artist has to do a good job with me.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and he experimented a lot with me in the beginning to find the right way to work with me. So in the beginning, I could actually see pictures within my head. But because I can't draw, I couldn't perform them pictures on the paper. Then at one stage, I actually saw the faces on the paper. And I thought, easy, I just have to coloring it in, But that didn't work either because I can't draw. So in the end, I just trust, that if I more or less focus on one piece at a time, one eye, now I'm doing the mouth, now I'm doing the cheek. So I don't look at my whole picture. I just trust him.
If somebody likes to see your pictures, they can see it on Google, I think.
Yeah, and my Facebook page as well.
Yeah, and Facebook, yes, because I think you're very talented, and I think, I can never do that.
But that's the beauty with my technique. And sometimes when I have a lecture or a group of people, like at Stansted when it's my evening to have the people, for example, and we might be 20, 30, 40 people in the class, and they're going to be with me, and they go, oh my God, I don't want to draw, I can't do faces, I can't do it, And then I take them step by step, and my most enjoyable moment is when they're sitting there looking, my God, Mia, it's a face,
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it, I think.
Maybe it's difficult for you to draw as a child now, because now you can do it.
Yeah.
It's difficult to go back, maybe.
Yeah.
But how did it feel when you started to have courses in Arthur Findlay College? Was it nervous, or I mean?
Yeah, it took me actually about 2-3 years, I think, before I started to relax. Because it's quite a hard school to become a teacher. It takes about 5 years. And not that you're doing courses every week, but you have to go every year. And it was actually my good friend Simon James and Simon Key who said, you should go to teaching training, Mia. So I signed up. And they say it's fully booked, you can't come in for a long time. And suddenly I got an email, you're coming in February. And this was in the autumn, November or something. So obviously Spirit had a purpose with it. And I didn't even realize that I was going there to become a teacher at Arthur Findlay College. Because my English was not that good at that time either, It's been picking up over the years. And I thought when they said teaching training that, I'm going to do a workshop or I'm going to have a class and they're going to help me perfect my mediumship or my teaching skills. But no, they're just judging you, It's just a judgmental week, so to speak. You have to manage to do a group work, a class work, a lecture, a demonstration, private sittings, and they just judge you if you're good enough. So it was nerve-wracking.
You're the only Swedish person, I think, is working there.
Yeah, at the moment. Hopefully there will be some more.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people would like to work there.
It's a beautiful place. It's absolutely stunning, yeah.
I've never been there, but I hope to come there one day.
Yeah, it's magical. It really is.
And you have seances too?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And in Sweden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do everything because I get bored very easy.
Yeah.
So I need a variation within my work.
But you don't do trance?
Yeah, I do actually. I did it for quite some time, but then with everything hit the fan with my ex, I lost the beauty of it for almost 10 years. And actually, when me and Karina, when we've been working in Speak of Spirit, where I've been sitting for trance and slowly taking my power back, so to speak. And actually 2 years ago, I worked on Bill Thompson's trance week in Stansted. And he asked me, do you want to do my week, please? I need another teacher. And I said, no, I'm sorry. I can't do a trance week if I can't demonstrate trance. I said, I don't feel right, If I'm going to teach something, I have to show the student that I can do it. And he said, please, pretty please. And I go, okay. Because I know about trance. So yeah, I know I can teach it. It's just, my pride that I should be able to do it. If I don't have to demonstrate it in front of a big class, I said, that's fine, he said. That's fine. Book your flights. So I did. And of course, with Bill Thompson, he's a lovely guy, love him to bits. Of course, I have to demonstrate trance.
Oh.
So he knew my issues and he just pushed me in the right direction. So I'm slowly taking it back.
But I guess that you are on the right road.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Is there anything else coming up for you in the future now, or?
Well, I'm booked every weekend more or less all the way into December. So I'm always working. I love my work. But what I learned during the Corona, for example, is that I'm not going to travel as much as I've done.
No. But you travel around in Sweden?
Yeah, and abroad as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to Switzerland on Thursday.
Yes, that sounds lovely.
Yeah, people say, oh, it's lovely, you can travel. I love my work and when I finally get there, but I actually hate traveling.
But
Actually,
no, we haven't traveled, so maybe it'll be a little bit better.
yeah, absolutely.
We're getting a little more free, at least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Have you written any other books? It's not only this book.
No, I haven't. The thought has actually only come back to me the last couple of months. And maybe it will be something eventually, but before that I have never had any interest. But today the thought has turned up a couple of times that I would like to write maybe something about the confidence and how to work with yourself to actually enjoy the workings of the spirit and not only put pressure on you. I think there is a lot of self-help we can do to be much kinder to ourselves, because we use a lot of good mediums because of the pressure they put on themselves. And I think we need every one of them.
So yes, I think so too. But then you would be the right person because you speak so openly. If I say you don't, you are speaking the truth. If I say so,
I think
in the way you write, if you understand me.
Yeah. And I think that's because I've been through the worst I could have been, and I think I have nothing to be afraid of anymore, and I'm too old to try to be something else. And I think if there is anything I was missing when I was developing was that maybe one of the teachers could have said that I'm also nervous. I also have problems from time to time, but when it came to my ex, who actually was my mentor for the first 10 years, that didn't exist. So everything was so unreachable. And I think the students needs to see that we are also normal people with flaws and insecurities and fears. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I prefer like people, I'm not judging now, but when they are not perfect.
Yeah.
Because when they are perfect, they believe they're perfect. I know there's something that isn't perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because I don't think we're meant to be. We can't be perfect.
No. And I think that's the beauty of it. And I think also that we should have different ideas, and because that's how we expand our consciousness and think in different ways.
Yeah. Is there anything you would like to share that I haven't asked you?
If I can, actually, for everyone who's developing out there, I would like to say a couple of things that have helped me over the last years to become more secure within myself and my mediumship and when I'm working. And that is that mediumship is very easy. It's the fears, insecurities, and the baggage we're carrying that actually stopping us from becoming the best us we can be. And yes, we might always have a little bit of insecurities and things with us, and we have to make that our best friend. And another thing I would like to say is that I always say there are no no's. When people say, no, I don't understand that information, there is not a no. You're only learning something more there, And because most of the time when we get a no, we freeze up and we think, oh my God, I was wrong. No, you're not wrong. You just haven't got it totally right, So you're just learning something more. And I usually give a very easy example. Like when I started working, when I got the pressure on my head, I knew that they had died from a stroke. But after a couple of years, when I got the pressure there, the people said, no, it was not a stroke. And, as everybody else, I thought, oh, I lost it. And the insecurity creeps in. So then I started to ask the sitter, would you be so kind to maybe explain for me why I feel the pressure there? Oh, it was a tumor. Okay.
Yeah.
And it became tinnitus, and then it was something else, So every time I get the no, it's not the no. I'm just learning something more to become better at my work.
Yeah, it's a two-way in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's understanding because maybe they haven't experienced much of it and they want everything right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not always, it doesn't always come so quick, or you understand.
And also, I think because it means so much to the most people, it's from the soul, and they're so afraid if they can't do this, what do I have left, So from the subconscious, that fear usually creeps in because it's so important. And if you take a guitar course, it's going to take years to master that, But when you're doing mediumship, it's like if I can't do it immediately, I'm not a medium, So, and I never stop learning. I have no's every time I work because if I didn't get them, I wouldn't become better at what I'm doing. And to use that psychologically, it will help us move forward.
Mm. And sitting in the right group, practicing.
Absolutely. You should never stay with someone who don't encourage you,
No.
Yeah.
No.
If you feel uncomfortable, leave,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very important. Well, Mia, I ask you one thing. You are a designer as well. Is that true?
What do you mean by designer?
I looked here at your book and it says like this. I have to put my glasses on. Mia Ottosson is a designer, medium, psychic artist, and visionary artist.
Yeah, because at the time when I wrote the book, I still had my silver and tin smithy shop. So I did a collection for christenings. So I designed my own christening things and things like that.
Yeah. So, but if people would like to get in touch with you, or of course your book, but if they want to, where do they find you?
On my email.
In your email, not through Facebook or so.
Yeah,
No.
Facebook is fine as well. Yeah.
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 Yeah. I don't know. I think I don't know if there's anything else you would like to, because I read the book and I got a lot there about you, your childhood. You were very active and so on. But did you ever feel that you were like a spiritual child or so?
No,
You
not
never,
at all.
you never saw anything? No.
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 I'm one of the few, I usually say, because the most mediums say that they've seen spirits since I was a child and so on.
Yeah.
I never did. Nothing.
No.
So that also stopped me in the beginning from believing that I could do mediumship because I wasn't one of them who had that talent. I hate the word gift, because if it was a gift, it's like God has favorites, I like talent much better, and all talents needs to be practiced to be good. So.
But I don't think I'm a school teacher, but with young children. But I don't think that children think that they see spirits if they say spirits.
Yeah.
I don't believe so. Sometimes when everybody say they see spirits as a child, I don't really believe that.
No.
But it's up to them. Maybe they did. I don't know.
Yeah. And I mean, it sounds better, doesn't it? If I should be critical in one way, because I met a couple who has been lying about things like this, and it sounds better if you say that you've been in touch with the spirit world all your life, and you can build up a really nice PR for yourself. But in the end, you still have to deliver. So just as well be honest, I think, and I think it will help more people develop if they have an honest teacher.
That's one thing I do believe in is honesty.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And I still, I think even when people talk about their guides tell them to do this and the guides say do that, I don't, then I get like that too, because I don't think guides tell you to do that and that.
No, me neither, actually. I think we underestimate our own spirit, the spirit within. And I think my spirit within has just as much knowledge as any guides up there. And I think a lot of people mistakes the inner spirit for a guide, And I don't think like you that the guide should interfere within a normal day life. You should buy that sweater or you should do that. What interest would I have for that, That's just personal responsibility.
I believe the same. But you know who you look like?
Lotta Engberg.
Yeah, it's like sitting with Lotta Engberg. For them who doesn't know, it's a Swedish singer.
Yeah, I hear a lot.
But can you sing?
No, no, I'm horrible.
Well, then you were horrible to draw, so maybe you can sing as well.
Think I can learn if I practice, but no, I sing though. I don't care if I sound horrible. So sometimes my husband says, please shut up.
Yeah. But I say it's been nice talking to you, Mia. And I'm very happy you have shared this for your book, because I think it's a very important information for people to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very important so that we don't have to do the same mistakes you did, or mistakes, but we don't have to go maybe that path.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
yeah. And I hope to see more of you.
Thank you. Likewise.
Yeah. Yes, and I have actually been out looking for courses to learn how to paint like you. So I hope one day I will do that.
And you will have a surprise with my technique, I promise you.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm finished here this evening. So I would like to thank you so much for accepting this. Yeah. And see you again, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Bye.